All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Trigun Stargaze, episode 12, the finale.
The finale. We have ourselves a god of knives. Not going to be a happy episode.
No.
Vash has seen the memories of Tesla, and it is bad. It is not good.
Turns out a group of people might be totally willing to cause suffering in another creature because they think they'll get something out of it. Turns out Nye is totally fine causing, wouldn't you know it, a lot of suffering in the plants that he cares about so much in order to get something out of it. Yeah.
It's a cruel, cruel world we live in, and we perpetuate the same pain onto others and ourselves because we refuse to learn the lessons of those in our past.
And now,
even though it's not fair, fair.
Yeah.
Vash is right. At some point, you have to let go of it. You have to move on. You have to accept you have no enemies. Otherwise, there is no end to this.
And so now, Nye, that you won't get what you want. You will not get the utopia for the plants and all that stuff. Still going to kill the humans just because you're pissed? Probably. I think that means you need to be stopped.
Yeah. At the very least, you need to process this more internally. I know that you seem to be an external processor now.
But, you're lashing out right now, and that's not other people's, responsibility to suffer while you figure out your shit.
Yeah.
So maybe let's have Vash rip out those plants. And
That's honestly a very good summarization of the lesson in a way that is much more actionable for just general people. People are not responsible to process you going through your suffering.
And if you're making them suffer because of it, you done fucked up.
Well, no, you super fucked up at that point. I'm saying the harder thing, which is they are not responsible to handle your processing of your suffering.
It sure
they
is
are
great
also
when they
going
decide to
through
help
the
you
same
out,
thing.
But
But that's where we ask for help. That's where we be vulnerable and we basically open up to let people know I'm suffering. I'm in agony. And that's where we get crying and all these other things because sometimes our bodies just need to tell us, hey, you're struggling with actually communicating that you need help. So the body is going to override your will and take over and say, this one needs help.
Yep.
So, all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh.
We gotta play the piano.
Yeah.
It's gotta be wild to think about how a song is held.
Born on this planet too. Oh,
God.
And attacking him using the plants. Oh, that looks so good. Well, they're just making their super laser. They might just wipe out humanity that is on the planet.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I love it.
Oh!
What?
They use their shields to just protect them. What a move!
Shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah, boys are here. Oh my God, they scarred the planet with a star.
It's huge! Maybe. Just maybe.
Gonna pull them all down to the... Oh my God.
Wow. I don't think that's gonna do much at this point. Holy shit.
生きているあなたたちのことをもっともっと知ろうとします。より良い関係を築けるように努力します。一緒に生きさせてください。
Oh shit.
All the plans are in a network.
Yep, yep.
Whoa.
All right, if anything could stop it, maybe it'll be this.
Maybe they all, like, yeah. Because he's a plant too.
Uh-huh. And so you fall and burn alone.
Bash.
Yeah. Even the ones inside you.
Yeah, don't leave me. Yep, yep. Whoa. Oh, now you get it. He heard their song for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So damn consistent.
I'm loving what they're doing with the visuals this episode. Again.
Oh, I love it. He's using the bullets to redirect his own momentum. God!
These visuals are great.
Get your Sephiroth sword, yeah.
All right, now you gotta go after him.
You reached his heart.
It's like everything stops.
大丈夫かな、ナイ。バッシュ、一つお願いがあるの。あなたたちは二人なら大丈夫。
Of course, yeah.
Keep an eye on him.
レムは苦しんでいた。あの時、船に残ったのは食材のつもりだったのかもしれない。レムの苦しみ、テスラの悲しみや寂しさ、一人で受け止めていたんだ。はい、もう一人にはしない。僕も共に受け止めるよ。
Whoa.
Oh, that's beautiful. And now they come.
And there's Tesla, yeah.
Tesla's reborn.
テスラ。ありがとう。みんな。
そっか。プラントが人間にコントロールされなければ死んでしまうのって。もしかして寂しいからなのかもしれないね。
Whoa. Cool little reveal there. Yeah.
天に増します我らの父よ。我らが人に許すごとく。
Whoa.
Nice.
我ら試みに引きたまわざれ。我らを悪より救いたまえ。
Yeah! Yeah!
あなたテスラって名前なんだね。ごめん。 りがとう。
That's a beautiful episode.
So this thing is no longer being oh, they caught it. My gate, yeah. Let's go, yeah.
僕たちの世界へ。
バッシュやめろバッシュやめろお前はそれ以上苦しむな俺はもう誰もな
That was my job.
ない何を苦しむのは俺が最後でいい
Because I'm your brother.
Like
The
a
wings.
fallen angel.
Yeah, and each half, you know,
Yeah.
one wing from each of them.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And this will be eventually a beautiful planet.
Well, we had our Genesis.
Yeah, we had our Genesis. Yeah. Yeah.
ロストジュライからちょうど4年。
All right.
そしてジェネシス・イン・ジュライから1年後の
And look how much this is spread.
ミリオンズ・ナイブスのラストランで水なき星に水が湧き、土壌が改良され、植物が育つようになった。
So maybe some people decide to stay here if they want.
Yeah, we have to take care of it.
だから植物を守るための一部の人だけがノーマンズランドに残り、ほとんどの住人は移民船団に乗って
Right.
Cool.
They've had enough of this planet. There's a lot of baggage here.
Well, also, they just couldn't survive here. There'd be too many people.
彼は
Sure.
ヒューマノイド台風と呼ばれ、莫大な懸賞金をかけられていた。
You know, typhoons do bring rain.
じゃあ僕を頼むよ。
お任せください。
その僕に宇宙を見せてやってほしい。僕を通したものを僕たちは見ることができる。そうすれ
Fine.
ば
寂しくないですよね。
暇じゃなくなる。
寂しくないです。じゃあ先輩、私たちもそろそろ要請しましょうか。それあんまり近づけてこないでください。お姉ちゃんたちも待ってますし、先輩のお父さんとお母さんとじ。
Very different families.
やっぱりそうだベルナルデリ通信社の
Ace reporter.
エースかどうかはわからないですけど。
あんたの記事いつも読んでたよなんだか元気になるっていうか前向きになれるっていうか旅の間もあんたの記事を楽しみにするからねしっかり頼むよ
You got acknowledged you're a real reporter.
ねえ先輩、結局プラントって何なのでしょうね。
Hell if we know.
先輩、私たちは
Hmm.
ほんの一瞬でも
You understood them?
でも喉元過ぎれば暑さを忘れる。
Hmm.
そんな痛みなんてすぐ忘れてしまうでしょう。
Whoa.
ですが知ろうとすることが大切。
Whoa.
プラントと真に共存する道を見つけることが
Whoa.
だから私は思うんです。希望はあるって。
Because they're interdimensional beings that might be kind of outside of time and space, and so, oh, there's some pain.
Maybe. Possible. Yeah.
願わ
Hey.
Yeah, she's not leaving. Yeah.
正しい道筋を歩んでいけますよ。
Wait, but Millie, you gotta go. Like,
What about the whole promise to...
yeah. Millie's like, oh my god, I forgot. Whoops.
Silly me.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, hair's all dark now.
なんで君たちここにいるの？今日最
Yeah, what's the deal?
そうですよ。ですから迎えに来たんです。
Oh.
静かに余生を過ごすには早すぎますよ。
はよせえや
まだまだ大冒険するんです。
僕150歳ですよ。
見えません。その年になったらあの時は楽しかったって笑いましょう。
わかった。
Hey. There we go. Now they're chasing
This
after.
is why he's being chased. Nice. Cool.
All right, that's
was
an
a-
end of a series. That's a finale.
I gotta say, I loved that.
Yeah,
Like
that was a good spectacle.
That was a fantastic spectacle. Like
Yeah.
the visuals, they've always been good in this show. Mm-hmm. This episode was something else. Like
This episode was something else. I really loved also the sound design. I
Mm-hmm.
loved a lot of the stuff that
Yep.
they went into with getting us immersed in this just
oh yeah, like
wildly over the top spectacle.
the dragon, all the ships firing their lasers and everything, the falling through into atmosphere with all the fire and everything as they have their conversation, all the plants, then coming out of Nye at the end there. Yeah, like there were so many moments where I was just like, this is
Beautiful.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah. It was kind of the ending that I feel like plot wise, that's where I'm a little bit like, we got here, like
Right.
eventually.
This season as a whole, I think could definitely be surmised by we got here.
Yeah, we got here.
Like
in a lot of ways, as far as an emotional end for this, I definitely felt it.
yeah,
I feel like the part that resonated the most with me was the power of the plants basically forgiving humanity the ignorance of
Right.
their current situation.
Yes.
The idea that
Like
human
they-
beings are causing pain to others
Mm-hmm.
in the moment. And it's not really something that works and translates super well to our real world because we don't have some kind of interdimensional beings that
Exactly.
can kind of give us the hope of like, you
Well-
guys are going to figure it out eventually.
well, the closest, like the where I almost expected them to go, given that they did the Golgotha thing, they did the like Lord's Prayer thing at the end. It was almost like a Father forgive them, they don't know what they do.
Kind of.
That's
Kind of.
effectively kind of what.
Well, right, but it's the thing of it's still something where they are themselves trespasses. They are themselves,
Yeah.
issues. They
Yes.
are causing pain and suffering.
Right.
And that time can be used then to learn the lesson of
Right.
failure, of pain, of suffering.
And the whole idea of like the pain is something that is temporary, and because they're like transcendent beings or whatever from a higher dimension and all that stuff, they can kind of like
they can look beyond it.
they can look beyond it and stuff. That I love that as a conclusion. I do have to take that in a vacuum because, because we just
absolutely.
had the whole thing with Tesla where it's like no, pain actually is it's pretty bad and no, if you can brush it off and get past it, great.
Right. I
But,
guess that's the part where it could be like a really fun esoteric kind of interpretation of the end is that Tesla's screams were a memory of a point in time
Sure.
where she experienced the suffering. Nye took that memory and built an entire worldview out of a few
He kept
moments in
focusing
time.
on it. Yeah.
He focused on it to the point where it's yes, you're right. Tesla suffered in that moment.
Yep.
And because Tesla died in that moment as well, Tesla's final moments were also suffering.
Sure.
So you could say that the beauty of this finale is that Tesla was reborn through the joining of both Nye being stripped of all these other plants that he had forcibly grafted to himself, and then Vash actually connecting with the plant within himself fully for the first time, and thus Tesla was reborn out of that. And it's wonderful, their branches connected, they then bore out of that which only they could, which is itself the nature of the plant that was their progenitor.
On top of that, so there's a few potential things here. One, the And a lot of these are my own interpretations into it, right?
This is a very, like, you can interpret a couple things in different ways.
They went full Ava with this. So,
we went really wild here,
The number of plants that came out of Nye were far more than the plants that we saw him, or even implied that he had grafted into himself.
They did say that it was an innumerable number of plants. Like, they did say after a certain point, because it wasn't just 20. There was a point when they went into, like, hundreds.
No, sure, but
okay, go with it. Yeah.
The idea that actually this was effectively a birth of a bunch of plants that maybe did not originally exist. And as a result of this thing that Nye did, and now there are many more plants that will be able to go, across the stars or whatever, however that works. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I was thinking, because what I originally thought was happening was not that it was them coming out of him, but as a result of him having the growth and the shift in mindset, now they actually finally come to him. I didn't realize at the beginning that they were like emerging from him.
Sure.
And that I was just like, oh shit, like the idea that, all right, now you actually can have connection, which he still ended up getting, right? Like he got connection with them as a result of it. It just wasn't them physically, approaching him.
Right.
But the
way in which we still got to have the brothers basically hold each other, and instead of it being something where Vash's final choice with regards to, rather than killing, it's the, hey, let's basically go roll the dice together in a form of a double potential, like, we're both gonna die here.
Yep, but it could also just be we're both going to
somewhere
maybe that
else.
Higher dimension where we originally kind of came from.
And I love the idea that Nye can kind of see it more for the no, that's not an answer here.
Right.
That's basically you saying, hey, our lives had no meaning.
But at least we'll be together.
In
whatever form that ends up being.
And that spits on basically the pride of Nye, who's like, no, I believe I still made the right choice to basically bear the burden for you.
Right.
Not what I did with that pain, but the decision to basically shoulder it. That was really cool. Because in a lot of ways, the scaffolding to get to that point, there's a lot I could leave.
Yeah.
But the idea that we were going to at some point have to empathize with Nye, I was worried for a while of the whole, there's Tesla, what? We're setting up some kind of reveal here of, okay, gotcha. And then once we had the reveal for what it was, it didn't feel like it was an ass pull. It didn't feel like it was something that came out of nowhere. It felt like it was very in line with the themes, and while still the plot of getting there was a lot, the idea that then here he says, no, my decision to take the burden of this pain and suffering is itself the only form of acceptable violence, basically. It's that, yes, you're right, Vash, you were right all along. Killing is never the answer. It's never the answer. But reality, this life, and what have you, is misery, it's pain, it's suffering, that is reality. But you don't have to experience it all. There is a way in which we as people can decide of our own will and volition to say, I will take a disproportionate amount of it onto myself so that you can have an easier share. Right. That is parenting. That is everything. Yeah.
And the idea that he also saved Vash here, regardless of whether or not they actually would have survived and like gone to a different dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
Him saying, you're going to stay here, Vash, and this is just going to be what happens to me. It's both kind of accepting for himself, I don't really have a place here. Or at least I don't feel I do, or whatever. Okay.
Or I may be burned to my place here.
Exactly. Yeah. But you still have a place here.
And you were so damn consistent. And you did everything. Yeah.
And I see that as valuable. Even if I don't see value in these humans for myself, I understand that at least they mean a lot to you, and that the effect that they have on you, right? Rem, being kind to us and all that stuff, that does mean something. And so, no, I'm not going to let you throw that away. I chose to burn my place here.
Yeah.
You didn't burn yours.
And this is a fun then follow-up on what happened with July in the end of season 1, in that it's the, hey, we broke open a hole into that extra dimensional space there.
Right.
And in entering it, we created our birthplace of life, and however we solve that, whatever, it's fine. This planet begins to terraform over the course of years and years and years. Wonderful.
Right.
That'll be a fun, treasured little, little point of life.
It's the final gift from one brother to another.
Yeah, and that humans will steward it. And if they don't treat it well, then they will all die.
I gave them their chance.
I gave them a second chance.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I feel like there's some really good, symbolism here with regards to why forgiveness is so powerful.
Yes,
because in a weird way, that's what makes Vash's contradiction of who he is as a person so powerful, is that he is not able to forgive himself over the course of this entire journey, and thus he soldiers forward to try and right the I should have done things better in the past.
Right.
But rather than be filled with regret, shame that leads to him being where he is at the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2 here, it's take this. Take what you've been given, steward it well, and pass it on. That's life. Yep. That's it. And so it's fun that Vash learned the lesson in some ways conveniently in the beginning, to then come back around to see but the lesson of the original conflict in the story, 150 years ago, you get the second chance to learn the lesson again.
Exactly.
And then to have the plants say, it's okay if there's pain and suffering. It's okay if there's going to be points where you don't get it right. If you're willing to learn, if you're willing to be open to actually evolving and listen and understand, it's going to be important. It's going to be okay. Yeah. And so in some ways it feels like that's where we kind of have to take this in a vacuum here, is that a lot of beings and people do not deserve forgiveness or a second chance.
And that's great that the people that were being used and abused in this case are interdimensional beings where they can perpetually take the high road because they're able to do that.
Right.
But, with regular people in those situations, absolutely get the pitchfork and torches,
just things aren't that simple.
Yeah.
we can't break the barriers of time and space yet,
You will make your mistakes because of your ignorance. Cool. I will make my mistakes because I got to do something about your ignorance.
Well, and that's where I feel like this is still something that you can pull a little bit out of the vacuum, is that still Vash's point is, while contradictory, somewhat tapping into that higher view of things, which is that everything is temporary. All this shall pass. There is no permanence in pain, in life, in anything.
Exactly.
So, therefore, if you can somehow, I know it's going to be hard, and human beings are not going to have feathers fall from the sky that gives them moment of nirvana and enlightenment for a fraction of a second.
Yeah, and even if they did, they'd forget.
Even if they did, they'd forget. Yes, thank you. That is basically what I was about to say. But there are points where you're not going to touch the special sauce or whatever.
Right.
But you're going to have moments where you, at the very least, look beyond yourself.
And that's where I think
that's where this show's saying something actually really powerful.
Right, because it's fantastic. The real world parallel of the plants and everything, it doesn't exist. It doesn't work, right?
No.
But the ideal, that still works, right? The idea that, the cycle of violence can end at any moment, that still works.
It's not likely.
It's not likely.
But it's possible.
But remembering that ideal is still real freaking important, otherwise we might just turn into knives. And that's no good. That's really no good.
Yeah, that's the doom of our species.
Right.
And
Yeah.
just because our species exists doesn't mean it deserves to. Just because
and regardless of whether or not we deserve to, currently we do. So what are we going to do with that? Right?
Well, currently we do. I will basically just make the point that rather than going down some weird philosophical route, because I'm sorry I brought that up to begin with, I'm basically just saying that the show is really trying to make the point that human beings can fuck it up really bad, like way further than we've already kind of screwed things up.
Sure.
The idea where it's like, oh, Earth, yeah, well, so, there's no going back. That's done.
Oh,
That's
sure.
over.
To
There's
say
no
nothing,
second chances there.
To say nothing of the idea that we are going to use the layer of indirection of scientists experimenting on an alien creature in a lab, rather than all the much worse things that happen every day done by humans.
Well, again, it's the indirection, but it's to say that the show brings you in with the despair of, this is what you've wrought, humans. This is what you have. You this is your mistake. This is your error. And so now at the end here, you get this serendipitous happy ending, if you will.
Right.
Because you were willing to conveniently have someone beg for mercy, basically, at a piano.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as unrealistic and about as like
and
Deus Ex Machina as it comes.
The telepathic message that contacts the hive mind and causes the
no, right before that, we had our
awesome-looking dragon
of
vengeance and death
wrath and vengeance, dragging humanity's last remnants down to die.
Which also, I love that it was being done in such a way, not just I'm going to break all the ships and make them fall, but like, no, I'm literally going to drag them over. Now, I could have just done that without the ships and wiped out humanity regardless. Like,
oh, yeah.
But he's like, no, but I want to make a
very,
statement.
Very, very spectacular explosion here.
Yeah, but
again, plot stuff aside, here.
Looking back, the final third of this season, I would say, I really like that final third. I feel like that worked really well for me, and the Hoppard stuff at the beginning of the season, that was great.
Yeah,
yeah. The rest of the season is the rest of the season, and there's still some of that bleeds into this final third and all that, right?
Yeah. But like, you know what? Damn it! You know what it makes me want to do?
To watch the original series. I know.
Fuck, they got me.
Because I get the feeling that this final third working so well is because, they probably brought a lot of stuff from the original.
I'll bet I'll bet you there's like nothing.
Okay.
I'll bet you there's like nothing similar.
I'll bet there's probably elements, right? But then it's a lot of the meat and potatoes of what we actually get on the day by day. Well, we said we're doing things different, so
we're going very different.
We're going very different, and it really didn't work.
Yeah, I really like some of the hopeful, or at least parts of the hopeful messaging in this finale, but it is definitely one of those. Hey, if you really like squint and like look specifically for the good stuff, there's good stuff here. There's a lot of really good stuff here.
And on top of that, visually,
gorgeous.
This was legitimately incredible visually.
Yeah. And then, all right, Vash. You know what? You are the humanoid typhoon.
Let's get that interview.
Let's have our shenanigans continue
as you go off to the stars or whatever.
All right, fine. Yeah. I liked also the tiny little reveal, because I believe it had been foreshadowed, but we didn't know the context for it, but that the Doctor was the original one that basically spliced or vivisected Tesla.
Yeah, it
back
might have
then.
been. I can't remember because I believe Tesla was still a thing in season 1, but just not gone into much at all. It's just more of the inciting event that. Like,
I don't even know if the name was dropped specifically.
The name might not have been dropped. I can't remember.
No, there were some hints about it, but it was something where it was fun to have the picture then be.
Yes,
something that was.
But I do believe I remember the spliced image of Tesla being something that Nye found that then caused him to do the original.
Maybe, yeah.
Fall.
I do like that, but then also what are the kinds of things that were foreshadowed that we maybe forgot along the way?
Yeah.
So we'll get in the comments for that one and see what kind of stuff you liked or didn't like a lot about this series, because I feel like this is a controversial series just as a whole. And now I'm kind of like, cool. I'm really curious about the OG now, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next show that we're doing after this here, which is going to be Dr. Stone's final season, part 3? The final part of the final season of Dr. Stone. I feels proper that, we're going to have our, ending in space here be about then the series that's headed to space, Sounds awesome, but yeah, if you want to see that first episode's reaction right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.